Enti ene eye Ghana Day. Enti we Mother Ghana a happy 68th birthday. Na we Penyah Blog Media family nyina so obi biara happy Independence Day. Enti ene na Ghana ya day ya fofida ye say omamu nyina ye celebrate na record share so. Now this year dey on say na mate no. Ye ntima celebrate across all the countries but mia celebration etimi call celebrate bre ni aka ho atem na face ene so Mahama make his speech be during the celebration of Independence Day no. Speaking to become as now for KNUST drama because what KNUST you become wasem aha Penyah Block Media mess was any day over like a video na da roma over subscribe button so click the Rationale connect latest updates na ba kire wadwen e dey ma me e wo comment section mess was any day aya no share video na ma unu aso enya bi ahwe and let's go into the story and marks exactly 68 years ago when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah mounted a podium, stood on it and declared say Ghana is free forever.
But we don't hear you.
At long last, the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Now I want you all, those who have hats on, to take off your hats and let the band play our national anthem. And from now on, that national anthem is the national anthem of the Gogo to be played on all occasions.
It is this particular speech is one of the powerful speeches that Ghana has ever had as a country. Nkrumah speech, in fact, one of the most powerful speeches that Ghana has ever received. As a Afibiano, exactly 6th March, Biano, you celebrate Independence Day. It's so lovely to watch. In fact, drama upon drama is set in. What I say, so much of drama, the fun, any energy, but it intense us. I make across the Kumawood industry, a movie, number 2 in Ghana Independence Day. In the video, you could see a Jaco, Katare, and Judas Mo marching to the celebration of Ghana's Independence Day. And I say, nice. And Ghana is 68 years Independence Day. The cautious. Now, before they record the forecourt of the presidency, KNUST also a grand celebration be our honor. Now, young Kwashwa Dibi. So KNUST, celebration of Independence Day at Womo campus. No more you be a most ensued them now concert. Instead of how them concert them, KNUST, why them concert them? It together for all these are patriotic songs, you couldn't learn any song. Enti Mumas band no went when you it's on them na how them question them. I said nice. And aside that, I think say across the country, various constituency headquarters no omutimi hold some kind of small celebration be el honomo. I said nice. Let's take you to the forecourt of the presidency where we had the general celebration itself by the president of the Fourth Republic of Ghana and the Ninth Parliament, His Excellency John Mahama. It around the forecourt of the presidency in the honor. It will be a echo wiemu. I say Mahama John coming. And it's all take a salute.
our dignitaries take leave of us. The President will shake hands with the chiefs.
Please, you go back and please.
Any bibia na nice. I say Independence Day no bibia e koso one I say energy. Na emu no ana Mahama make his speech bi e wo ho no. Now let's watch the video.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Your Excellency, Chairman of the Council of State and members of the Council of State, Your Excellency, President John Mahama, former President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic of Ghana, and our special guest, Your Excellency, President Jakaya Kikwete, former President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Ministers of State, Honorable Members of Parliament, Nime, Name, our traditional rulers, religious leaders, our service chiefs, our troops, school children, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media, and good people of Ghana. I wish you all a happy independence anniversary. 10 years ago, during the 58th independence anniversary, we implemented reforms to the annual Independence Day parade. This reform eased the burden of thousands of school children who march, sparing them from hours of standing in the scorching sun. They formed up on the parade ground only when it was time for their march past and presidential acknowledgement. A few years ago, the previous administration also implemented reforms, deciding to rotate the hosting of Independence Day celebrations among the regions of our country. This initiative was intended to bring the celebration closer to all our people. Unfortunately, this year we are constrained not only to interrupt the celebrations rotation amongst the regions, but also to hold it on a scaled-down version here at the forecourt of the presidency instead of the traditional Black Star Square. This is necessary considering the economic crisis our nation is currently experiencing. Large-scale celebrations often come with significant logistical, security, and infrastructure costs, which strain the national budget. By reducing the scale of the event, we wish to demonstrate a commitment to fiscal responsibility and the efficient use of our limited resources. Fiscal prudence has become imperative for navigating the severe economic crisis that has recently confronted our country. The state spent 15 million Ghana cedis on last year's celebration in Koforidua and spent 13.7 million cedis on the previous year's celebration in Ho in the Volta region. This year, we received estimates of at least 20 million Ghana cedis for holding the event at the Independence Square on the same scale as the previous years. In a year when we are calling on all to sacrifice, including workers who have graciously accepted a base pay adjustment far below the rate of inflation, it is unconscionable to spend that kind of money on a few hours of celebration. Today's event would save us 95% of the estimated cost of the event. Nonetheless, this scaled-down celebration does not diminish the importance and significance of this occasion in any way. Ghana's independence is the single most important event in our history, as it sets out us on the path of nationhood. It is even more significant because it lit the flame of independence in sub-Saharan Africa by inspiring other countries yoked to colonial exploitation to seek independence and self-determination. This day must therefore always be commemorated, but when reality calls for a different approach, we must heed it and act accordingly. Moreover, hosting the celebration here at the presidency preserves the symbolic essence of Independence Day while demystifying the seats of government. Fellow compatriots, Independence Day celebrations serve as an opportunity for us to remember our nation's struggle for freedom and to honor the sacrifices of our forebears who led that struggle for self-rule. It reinforces our national identity, our unity and patriotism, while offering a moment for reflection on our progress and the challenges ahead. It presents an opportunity for us to recount our history, picking the lessons it teaches, and thereby forging a new path for progress and development. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of our nation, envisioned an industrialized, self-reliant Ghana, whose citizens have the highest standard of economic life and the greatest sense of self-esteem rooted in patriotism and Pan-African unity. But on February 24, 1966, a joint military and police coup d'etat shattered that dream, plunging Ghana into decades of instability and military takeovers. The verdict of history is now loud and clear. Declassified documents from the United States archives reveal that this was a coup inspired and engineered by the CIA. It's the most regrettable and darkest moment in our nation's history. That moment sparked a series of historical events that have set us back and significantly delayed our attainment of the objectives of nationhood. We have had moments of triumph and moments of anguish. We have now blossomed into a fully fledged democracy with a healthy culture of peaceful power transfers. We must, however, remind ourselves that democratic participation transcends just the act of voting. It is fundamentally about accountability and the security needed to demand it. It is about safeguarding the people's freedoms and rights and fulfilling the promises of socio-economic prosperity enshrined in our founding document. Our history is complex, marked by struggle, resilience, and renewal. But through it all, one truth stands firm. The unbreakable will of the Ghanaian people has ensured that no matter the twists and turns, our democratic spirit endures and our destiny remains in our own hands. While we reflect on our journey, we must also review our standing today. We must assess our economic outlook, education and human resource development, natural resource management, national security, and our governance arrangements. It is essential for us to conduct a thorough review of our healthcare system, agriculture and food security, infrastructure and urban development, and the role of science, technology, and innovation. In this era of green transition, we must recognize our unique circumstance that is a nation rich in natural resources, yet vulnerable to climate change, and we must chart a path that balances sustainability with economic growth. 18 years ago, as we marked our Golden Jubilee, 50 years of independence, we celebrated offshore gas and oil and gas discovery. It was a moment of great optimism, promising a new era of economic transformation and attracting significant investments into Ghana's petroleum sector. However, in recent years, poor choices have stunted our prospects and left us reeling from serious challenges. This stark reality, far from dampening our spirits, must spur us on to strive for rapid development. For if our forebears, armed with far less, did not permit their backs to be broken by a repressive and exploitative colonial administration representing an imperial power, how can we, their progenies, armed with far more, despair in the face of these challenges? Rather than perpetually decrying our failures, every anniversary of our independence must present an opportunity for us to account for the legacy we are building for our next generation. We of this generation are merely custodians of this country and resources. They are entrusted to us to manage them wisely today for the generation of tomorrow. These independence anniversaries must therefore be a moment of reflection, not on what we have done for ourselves, but on how well we have stewarded national assets for those we will hand them over to in the future. Our story cannot be one of missed opportunities. It must be one of continued effort to achieve far more than we can boast of now. Posterity will not accept our failures or take them kindly. As President, I'm committed to providing the bold leadership and the clarity of vision that is needed to navigate the turbulent economic waters we are sailing in currently, while safeguarding our future. Discussions about our independence often highlight our reliance on imports, on donor aid, and IMF bailouts as signs of continued dependence. This reminder is repeated so often that while undeniably real, it risks becoming a cliché. Yet the entire efficacy of this reminder lies not in just repeating it, but in our willingness to take decisive action. Actions that will break the chain of dependency, not just the empty rhetoric of an Africa that is beyond aid. Proclaiming self-reliance while marching straight back to the donors, into the hands of the donor agencies, begging bowl in hand, is really meaningless. To break this cycle of dependence and reset our economy, my administration is formulating policies based on fiscal discipline and living within our means. We're striving to expand our economy to yield prosperity for all. And to do this, we must look within and make sure that we are raising revenue domestically. This administration is working to implement the 24-hour economy program to ensure that our economy never goes to sleep. This will allow us to create the necessary job expansion, boost productivity, increase our exports capacity and trade footprint, and also reduce our dependence on foreign aid. The US $10 billion Big Push initiative will also modernize our infrastructure. It will create jobs. It will stimulate local industry, ensuring that our development is driven from within rather than funded from outside. Agriculture remains our biggest opportunity to reduce import dependence. With over $2 billion spent annually on food imports, the Agriculture for Economic Transformation agenda is structured to strengthen local agribusiness and ensure food security. The Feed Ghana program will drive mass food production and stabilize food prices. At the same time, the Poultry Farm to Table initiative, otherwise referred to as Nkukong Kitinkiti program, will boost domestic poultry production and processing to directly address our 95% reliance on imported poultry products. The success of these policies depend on active citizen participation, particularly from our young people. The AgriNext program will equip 30,000 young people with land, training, and agribusiness opportunities. Farmer service centers in every district will provide access to mechanization services, quality seeds, and fertilizer to boost local food production. My brothers and sisters, this is a defining moment, but policies alone, no matter how well couched and no matter how well intentioned, will not change our reality. Action will change that reality. As President, I'm taking the necessary action to create growth opportunities and enhance our economic independence. Young Ghanaians must step up to the plate, seize these opportunities, and contribute to building a self-sufficient nation. Ghana's future is in your hands. Fellow Ghanaians, the 1992 Constitution has provided a stable framework for governance and delivered the most extended period of constitutional democracy in our nation's history. However, like any enduring legal and political framework, it has flaws and loopholes. Recognizing the need for refinement, the late President John Mahama initiated a constitutional review process in 2010, leading to the establishment of the Constitutional Review Commission. The previous administration of Nana Danko Akufo-Addo also undertook some constitutional review. Considering evolving national and global dynamics, I have constituted a new review committee to undertake a comprehensive and inclusive reassessment of our Constitution. This endeavor is essential as the strength of our democracy, the integrity of our constitutional order, and the rule of law requires continuous renewal. We must not allow weaknesses in our governance framework to fester until they threaten national stability. Instead, we must take proactive steps to reinforce the very foundation of our democracy. I therefore urge all Ghanaians to participate in this process by submitting their recommendations and memoranda to the committee. This is an opportunity to ensure that our constitutional framework truly reflects the collective aspirations of the Ghanaian people and serves as a robust instrument for national progress. My brothers and sisters, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah understood the essence of unity, not only in Ghana but on the entire African continent, when he said, and I quote, "The forces that unite us are inherently and far greater than the divisions imposed upon us." In the spirit of unity and brotherhood that this independence represents, I wish to speak directly to you, my brothers and sisters, in Boko and everywhere in our land where conflict is raging. I do not speak as president, but as your son and brother, in whose hands you have entrusted a solemn duty. The people of Boko and other areas, it is time for lasting peace to prevail. Our children deserve to inherit a peaceful land where their dreams are nurtured, not where their nightmares are relived. They deserve to inherit a land where our markets are bustling with trade, not tension and conflict. They deserve to inherit schools that echo with learning and not melancholy. Let us not be swayed by division, mistrust, and the weight of past injuries. Let us give renewal of friendship a chance. Let us give peace a chance.
So this is the speech that Mahama made. I will tell you last year, you spend this, you got you day and celebrate Independence Day. But for any day, Sri Lanka, we are looking up to, the celebration of Independence Day across the country. I think a school be a in fact, debate me and your grand celebration. This year, Amanu Ahochirim as declared by the president in his State of the Nation's address. We are broke. According to that, yentimi celebration across the country, but some places. And never the baby banana is excellent. When he's speaking of him, said the 24-hour economy it will be a game changer. Said the man for us a bogus and it is never a bogus. And a reality about the economy of this very nation, Ghana. Wait, much commercial. In Ghana, it was 68 years. Ghana was 68 years. What is your take on this? 68 years, we know. Over economy, be drew any near my team produce or my. Do you think, sir, you're making improvement? And I said they began a serious. Wait, much comment section. I have Penyah Block Media. Okay.